Hey folks, welcome back. I am Technivorous, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the Web Forge. This is the online version of IceSL's Forge, where you can create and design models programmatically using Lua code. And there's a lot you can do here. So as you can see, they have built us a pre-built model. This is what you load when you open the Web Forge, and this model automatically shows up just to kind of give you a demo of the types of things you can do. First of all, you'll notice there is this bar here that says tweaks, and that will allow us to change the parameters of our model. So what we're going to do, sorry about the noise, is we're going to play with this a little bit and just kind of show you the capabilities, because it's actually really crazy what you're capable of doing on here, and I think everybody should be checking it out. So as you can see, these tags are denoted by UI scalar. These are our variables, the bore R, bore H, and sides, and they are equal to sliding bars basically, which include a label, a current, or where the base point where it starts, you can see it's at 5, and then a minimum and a maximum. So I can actually take this and adjust my model with these sliding bars, which is kind of cool if you're trying to dial things in perfectly. Not just the bore radius, I can do that with all of these variables, get the height and how many sides it has. Now I can actually go in here and adjust this. Right now I have it maxed out at 6 sides. Let's say I want 10 sides. It'll reload, it'll reset it to 3, which is the default that we're setting here, and now I can go all the way up to 10 sides. So this is the bolt with 10 sides. It looks pretty rounded, not quite. You can still see the flat faces, and that is pretty dang cool. So if you count them, there should be 5 on each quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is basically for a half of the circle. Okay, so one of the other things you can do, let's say I want to add another one in here. Let's say just for the heck of it, let's just do UI scalar. We'll pick our label here, which we'll just put random, and then we need our initial value, which will be 4, our low value, which will be 1, and our high value, which will be 7. So you can see it automatically throws it in here. Now, since we're not using this variable anywhere in our code down here, the slider isn't actually going to do anything. But let's say we want to do to be able to move it left and right. So let's translate, and we'll say heck of it 0 0. We're going to multiply that times our picture, times our model here. So now when I tweak it, you'll see that it slides back and forth. Now it looks like the whole view plane is moving. That is because if there's only one object, it centers on that object. So let's go ahead and add something really small just so we can see the difference. C cube 1. Okay, so now there's a little tiny cube in here that you can see, okay? Right there. And now if I move the model, you can see it moving the model, translating it in different directions, right? You can also do that upwards. So let's say off build equals UI scalar above, let's say 2 plate, because we're going to offset it off the build plate here. I got to get the single quotation marks. And then we also need to add our initial value. We'll set to 0. Low end we'll set to 0. High end we'll set to 25. We can put it at whatever we want, but that should take care of that if I type it right. Okay, so now the distance to the plate can be adjusted. Oh, I gotta add the variable in. So let's say OFFF. One too many F's in my variable, but that's alright. So now it is 25 off the build plate, and we can raise or lower it. So this is great for making minor adjustments once you have a bunch of different models in here and you want to line them up and move them around. The crazy thing is right now it's on rotate because we're actually building a cube and then we're taking the bore for the cylinder out of it, and I can actually leave it I can code this out. And that won't work because it's trying to emit the bolt. I can code. Let's say I just said it was the bolt body, right? Actually, no, let's do that a different way so we don't lose that. Let's just do bolt body. Alright, so that gets rid of our bore. I can also just do the bolt bore and not the body. And you can see the hole. So programmatically, this is really, really awesome. There's a million things you can do with this. I've made some pretty cool models, and you can actually, when you're emitting, change the color of the object by picking a different color paintbrush. So as you're making different objects, you can paint them in different colors. That way if you need more than one thing, or you want to see separate models or things like that. Really, really cool. The options for this are pretty dang limitless, as long as you can figure out the math, which is the hardest part. But honestly, they're all primitive shapes, and it's just a matter of combining them and subtracting them from each other. So if I save the script here, it'll save it. I do have the regular Forge opened up because I'm working on another video showing you how to use this technique to make molds, which isn't quite ready yet, but we'll get there. And then the really cool thing is that I can save this. Let's go ahead, take that out. This is just a rough approximation of my mold. By subtracting one from the other, I'm gonna go ahead and save as, and in 3D objects we'll call this mold 1. It's not going to be our final mold, but it saves it as a Lua script. Then I can easily go in here into the actual slicer for IceSL, go to File, Load Model, and 3D objects. Let's find this script. So mold 1, hit open, and you can see it's brought it in, and I can now slice it. So it's going to save to G code. We'll let it slice up here. Goes pretty quick. But the super cool thing is you can import your own files, and it'll turn them into Lua files so that you can then add or subtract them to other things. And that's kind of how I got this rough mold here. Now obviously in the mold video we'll be going over how to split the item in half afterwards and entering a pour spout, things like that. But let's go ahead and look here. This is what our print's going to look like. You can see the empty cavity from the STL of the skull I brought in, creating our mold cavity. So pretty cool to use the Forge and make pretty much anything you want. And stick around. We'll have some more videos of this type in the future. I plan on using this quite a bit. I have used it quite a bit in the past, and I really, really enjoy it. So we'll call that good for now. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more videos on IceSL, including how to make molds and some other videos on quick programming tutorials in the Lua language for the Forge. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.